Hold on to your planners, friends, because New Year's is on the horizon and people are about to go gaga for goals and planners. I get this question all the time, so today I'm taking you way behind the scenes of how I choose and set and almost always reach my business goals. Hey there, Empire Builders. Welcome to my channel. And if you're new here, my name is Haley Dale, a content and sales funnel strategist, helping you create more purposeful, productive, and yes, profitable content too. So if that sounds like what you're looking for, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below or that little belly icon thing to be notified whenever a new video goes live. And stay tuned for value packed videos just like this one every single Monday. I actually consider myself very good at goal setting. And I think the reason is because even though we have very little control over what actually happens in our life, that doesn't mean that we can't make things happen. I think if 2020 has taught us anything, and this is my motto when it comes to goals, it's to be really fixed on the outcome, but really flexible when it comes to the timing and the results. And even though 2020 has been a masterclass in patience when it comes to goals, it certainly has been a year where a lot of my goals have come true. I had a best-selling book, and that was a goal on my list for a very long time, the biggest launch of my business career. And I finally finished my app, all while working way less than ever. So with that being said, I am excited to walk you through my step-by-step process for choosing the right goals, as well as fleshing them out and accomplishing those goals too. But before we get started, I want to go through 3 goal FAQs that I get all the time about goals, because maybe you're wondering them too. So the first thing is, what if I have too many goals? So I get this all the time, and I am someone who likes to set a ton of goals, and until I figured out what that sweet spot for me is, what that upper limit is when it comes to goals, I would have so many on my list and I would get none of them done. So what I'm telling you is this: if you find that you have too many goals, we want to make sure you're using 3 strategies. Number 1, recognizing that you're going to go a lot further faster when you focus on just one or just a handful at a time. That doesn't mean you're never going to work on the other ones either, but it does mean that you're going to put them in our strategy number 2, which is the parking lot. So when it comes to the parking lot concept, basically it means that we're saying, I'm going to do this later. I'm parking this bad boy over here in this parking lot so I can come back and pick it up when I'm ready for it. Once I have more space and once it's time, once that goal is fully baked and ready to go into the world. So the other thing is prioritization. So if you have trouble deciding, I'm going to go into a prioritization exercise, but it is a matter of prioritizing what is like now essential. It needs to get done right now, and what can wait a little bit, and what is the most important, and what is going to have the most impact. So the second question that I get all the time is, what if I can't think of any goals? So the flip side of our first question. So I get people who are, tired of goals. Maybe they feel like they've accomplished pretty much everything on their list and they're not sure what is next for them. Is it just bigger, better? Or is there some other goal for them? So what if you can't think of any goals? So I like to tell people is to go back to where it all began. So when you first started your business, what were your dreams for your business then? That can be a great place to kind of reignite that passion for your business and figure out what maybe got lost along the way in terms of goals. Were there any goals that kind of went to the side that you can bring up now? The other thing is to shake off the should. So a lot of times when we're not excited about our goals, it means that we are like chasing what other people tell us we should be doing. And so a huge part of this is shaking off the shoulds and figuring out what truly belongs to us, what dreams truly belong to us, what strategies truly belong to us, what belongs to us, and not other people cramming their shoulds down our throats. So if you have trouble with the shoulds, I'm going to put a link to my video down below this video down below the video, all about how to shake off those shoulds, how to identify, how to recognize if you are shoulding yourself, and how to get rid of them once and for all. The other thing I like to recommend here is when you can't think of any goals is to go away, get out of your regular space. I like to take a solo business retreat at least once a year when I'm just dreaming and I'm just thinking. I'm coming up to one pretty soon here, my annual business retreat. And it's just so essential to get out of your regular space, get out of your regular distractions and away, and it just helps you think completely differently. The final question I get all the time is, should my goals be big or small? So big or small, what is the right size? So both. right? Simply, the long and short of it is that both. You need those big goals to stay motivated and to have a bigger vision for your business and make sure you're working towards something, but you're never going to hit those big goals right out of the gate. You need some smaller goals in order to stack them up to actually reach that big goal. So, say if you want to go, you don't have an email list right now and you want 10,000 people on your email list. Well, 10,000 people on your email list is a great goal, but that's a big one. You're going to need to hit 500 first, and then you're going to need to hit 1,000 first. You're not going to go straight from 0 to 10,000. There are some other steps along the way that you're going to need to hit first. And so by focusing on those smaller projects, those smaller goals, they're going to keep you motivated along your way. You're going to be able to check these off along the way. So big or small, both. Big with small, I think, is more of the answer here. So are you ready to actually get down to planning your goals? I'm going to bring you through my process now, and it's 4 steps long. So step number 1 is to cast a wide net. So we want to come up with a ton of ideas for your goals so that you can really pick from the best of the best and the ones that motivate you the most. So we just want to make sure that we have a overabundant, overflowing cup of ideas for what these goals are going to be. So your job is just to get down as many ideas as possible. I like to start with a 5-minute just brain dump. Get everything up from your head that you think might be a goal. Then I like to think about start, stop, more, less. So what do I want to start doing in my business? What do I want to stop doing? What do I want to do more of? And what do I want to do less of? That's another great way to think about it. The next thing is to break your business into departments or areas. So that can help you come up with some goals too. So you can think marketing, fulfillment, offers, CEO and systems, and finance, and come up with what are your goal ideas within those different departments. Even if you're a solopreneur, think of your business in terms of departments to come up with goals in these different areas. And then the third thing is really to go back to the beginning. Why did you first start your business? What made you take that super courageous step? The first step when it came to starting your business, what made you pull the trigger and say, yes, I'm in business? That flip that we're open sign. So by the time you're done with this step, I want you to have minimum of 25 goal ideas before we move on to step number 2. Step number 2 is to evaluate your goals. So I have an evaluation grid that I use to evaluate my goals and decide which ones I want to pursue first. And you're going to find it on this side, maybe as I'm talking about it, but you can download it below this video. It's a choose your own goals adventure guide evaluation grid. So I think that the key to focus is to really evaluate these goals so you can figure out which ones you want to work on first. That doesn't mean you're not going to work on all of them at some point, but you'll get there. You'll get there when you get there. So I like to write down all of my goals and I put them in the left side column, and then I score them each from 1 to 10 based on 4 criteria. So criteria number 1 is, how badly do I want this? 10 means I gotta have it. I gotta have it now. 1 means, that'd be nice. I'm not 100% sure that's for me. So we want to grade it from 1 to 10. So criteria number 2 is, how now essential? How immediate is this goal? How quickly do I want it? 10 means yesterday. 1 means maybe in a year or so, I guess. So how now essential is it? Number 3 is, how much am I willing to pay for it? So this can be in terms of money, but it can also be in energy and time as well. So all of our goals require us to exchange something in order to get to them. And how much are you willing to pay? So score it from 1 to 10. So 10 means it's priceless. I don't care what I have to pay. This is for me. 1 means if it doesn't cost me very much, I want it. So grade it on those 3 criteria. I said 4, I actually mean 3. And then what I want you to do is add up all of the scores for your different ideas. And then what you're going to do is you're going to rank them. So what has the highest score, the next highest score, the next highest score, and you can continue ranking them until you have a full list of your goals and the order that they're in. And this is really going to help you know which ones to work on now and which ones aren't as much of a priority. The only exception to this would be if you have a goal that maybe depends on another goal, you might move that one up so that you can do that one first, but that would be the only real exception. Step number 3 is to decide on your top goals. So it should be pretty obvious based on the scores that you have given them. But what I want you to do is actually decide on what those top ones are, what those first ones are that you're going to work on first. And I want you to assign them to the quarters, to the next quarter, or maybe you're looking a year in advance and you're assigning them there. So the next 4 quarters, I want you to assign up to 5 goals in each quarter. That's really what I've I've found that the cap is for most people that they can work on unless they have a huge team helping them. So go and assign your goals to the coming quarter and maybe the one after that, and up to 5 for each of those quarters. So for those 5 top upcoming goals, the ones that you're working on in the next quarter or working on immediately, I want you to get clear on a couple of things. So number one, I want you to know why you want this. So why does this matter? Why is it now essential? And why are you willing to pay for it? The second thing is I want you to get really clear on what done looks like. When you accomplish this, how are you going to feel? What are you going to have done? What does it look like? What does it feel like? So write down everything about that goal so you can recognize done when it comes. And then I want you to give that goal the project plan treatment by breaking it into those smaller goals that we talked about, those smaller sub projects that go into your bigger goal. Then we have step number 4, which is to set yourself up to work the plan. So I want you to put those sub projects and their tasks into a task management tool. So maybe you use Asana, maybe you use ClickUp, maybe you just use a Google Sheet, but put it in whatever system you use to manage your tasks and keep a list of them. You don't really need to assign dates at this time. I think you should do this on more of a monthly level, but at least know what quarter they belong to and what goal they belong to. Then I want you to schedule some goal check-in dates. So you should be looking at these goals on a monthly or weekly basis to just make sure you're hitting those smaller goals, to make sure you're actually going to be accomplishing it within the time that you set for it. I think it's also helpful to get clear on your motivation for it. So maybe you have some external rewards, maybe you have some smaller milestone rewards along the way, maybe you tell someone about it so you have a bit of external accountability. So think about what you find motivating and then leverage that to make sure that you stick to the goal through to the end. All right, so that was my full step-by-step goal setting process. We're going to get more into planning for the upcoming year, but if you know it, I want you to tell me your biggest goal for the coming year in the comments. And if you're having trouble choosing your goal, make sure to download the Choose Your Goals cheat sheet below this video. And if you want more videos just like this one, make sure to hit subscribe and click on the next video on your screen, and I'll be back next Monday with another video.